exercise does not burn fat. Exercise can even make you fat. Sounds crazy? Well, it's not. So hear me out, okay? I used to weigh 350 pounds. I was fat, alone, and miserable. And here's a picture of what I used to look like a few years ago. After several years of trial and error, I finally figured out a healthy way to lose weight without starving myself or exhausting workouts. And I've lost 140 pounds so far. Several years ago, I thought that if I just eat less and exercise more, I'd lose weight. That's what everyone told me. That's what I thought would work. So I started exercising more and eating less, and I saw some good results. So I thought, hey, if a little exercise does this, why not do a lot of it and lose a lot of weight? And so I just worked harder and harder and harder. And I would start an intense exercise program. At one point I was working out 90 minutes a day, hardcore, and I would do it and see massive results. But after like a month, I would just run out of energy and crash and burn out and just, lose any weight that I lost. I'd gain it all back, or I'd gain a little bit back, and sometimes I'd even gain more weight than I started with afterwards. And I just thought that it was me, that it was just a lack of willpower. Okay, I know how to lose weight, but I just don't have enough strength to just keep doing it. And I just gotta, next time, just stick with it. And I would repeat this cycle of just these intense exercise programs, go for 4 weeks and then fall off track over and over again, maybe 6 or 7 times, before I realized that that wasn't the case, and that exercise really has little to do with losing weight in a healthy way. In fact, after reading Gary Taub's latest book, Good Calories, Bad Calories, which I highly recommend, the research shows that laziness and inactivity are actually a symptom of obesity and being fat, not a cause of it. You're not fat because you're lazy. Don't believe what anyone says. You just might have low energy because of the fact that you're fat. If you want to lose weight, exercise should be the last thing on your mind. Losing weight in a healthy and permanent way is 90% about what you eat, and it's about 10% maybe healthy exercise could help, but it's totally optional. And when you lose the weight, you'll find that you naturally start exercising more anyway. Okay, the truth is, you can technically lose weight just by exercising and pushing it, but that causes your cortisol levels to go high, your stress hormones, and your body thinks that it's starving, it's in intense conditions, and it lowers your metabolism to save energy, and lowers your thyroid hormone, lowers your sex hormones, lowers your sex drive, and your cortisol causes you to be in a fight or flight mode and be cranky all the time and irritable and all stressed out. And the minute that you stop exercising and eat some food, your body just hangs on to every last calorie and stores it as fat because it thinks, I might not get any more for a while, so I'm going to hold on to that. Your body weight is determined by hormones, the most important, the key player being insulin. And diet and exercise only indirectly affect your hormone levels. And insulin, the key player, is affected by how much carbohydrates you eat. So if you eat lots of carbohydrates like sugar and grains and bread and soft drinks and all that stuff, then your insulin levels are going to skyrocket and they're going to stay up. Okay, and this will cause your body to retain fat and not release fat from your fat stores, and also it will tell your body to store any excess calories from food you eat as fat. Now on the other hand, if you restrict your carbohydrates, your insulin levels will go down and stabilize, and that will tell your body that it's okay to use fat stores for energy and to burn your body fat. So to condense it down into its core essence, weight loss equals carbohydrate restriction. There are a lot of other factors involved, but overall, that's the main one. And exercise is totally pointless and counterproductive for weight loss if you're not restricting your carbohydrates, and it'll make you fat and miserable if you're restricting your calories while exercising. So don't do it. Alright, so how do you lose weight and control your insulin levels? Well, here's a simple 3-step plan that if you apply right now, you'll lose 3 pounds a week easily, no trouble. Okay, step number 1 is eat less than 30 carbohydrates per day. Okay, don't eat grains and starches, things like bread, pasta, noodles, rice, potatoes, things like that. Don't eat sugar, things like soft drinks, candy. You know what sugar is, okay? And don't eat processed foods or chemicals. Things like artificial sweeteners especially. They still affect the insulin levels even though they don't have real sugar in them. And anything that's in a package that has ingredients that you don't know exactly what they are, don't eat it. Do eat as much fat and protein as you want. Don't limit yourself. Whenever you're hungry, eat it as much as you want. Eat things like fatty meats, bacon, steak, beef, chicken, fish. Eat some vegetables, lots of butter on them, and maybe a little fruit. And just to give you a warning, the first 1 to 2 weeks of eating like this, if you've been eating a lot of carbohydrates, will be very hard going through the withdrawal, breaking that carbohydrate addiction. And just know that that's what's happening, and stick with it for at least 2 weeks before giving up. And just know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, that it gets way easier after those 2 weeks. Step number 2. Learn to relax. Spend 1 hour every day doing something that recharges you, that energizes you, and refreshes you. This will lower your cortisol levels and clear the path for you to lose more weight and make it easier. Step number 3. Exercise if you want to. As you lose weight, you're going to be compelled to go exercise and play more, but don't push yourself too hard, and make sure that you eat enough to make up for the calories spent during exercise. And do something fun. Join a martial arts or yoga class, or play a team sport. You're never going to lose any weight unless you get off your ass and take some action in the real world. So I've got a question for you. How are you going to implement what you just learned in your life? What specific, measurable, real-world actions are you going to take, and when are you going to take them? Write it down right now. And make a commitment to yourself that you're actually going to do what you say that you're going to do. So take action. It's not your fault that you're fat, but it's up to you to do something about it now. You deserve this. Go for it.